Hello there everyone, I'm Albz, and today we're taking a look at some more posts from r/ProRevenge. I hope you're sitting comfy, get a cup of coffee, get a cup of tea, and let's get right into it. I worked for an events hiring company. We supplied everything from AV to display stands, fencing, staging, etc. So I worked with an organizer that was looking to host a beers and wines festival. Had multiple meetings and provided far too many quotes and prices. But eventually it paid off and signed off to work with us. Fast forward about 2 weeks later. I have had little contact from her, which was very unusual. Out of the blue she emails me saying that they had found a cheaper supplier, almost half the price, and that we were ripping her off, and if we didn't void the contract and return the deposit, she would take legal action. Our prices were very fair and competitive with our main competition. So this really didn't make any sense at all why it would be so insanely cheap. I've had this before, and in my experience it's just best to let these organizers go, rip up the contract and return the deposit. If you force them to work with you, it becomes an absolute nightmare and just isn't worth it in the long run, as you work with these people for months leading up to the event. The event was still quite a while away as well, so I was confident I could fill in the spot with another. Anyway, it is now the 3 days before the festival opens, and I get a call from our store's Choosing Beggar. You have to help me, it's Choosing Beggar. Sure, what up? The suppliers arrived to install and the equipment is unusable. The marquees are ripped, displays can barely stand up, and they didn't bring any AV. It's a disaster. Okay, so before I go back to my team, are you needing everything we quoted you, right? Yes, everything! I go back to my team, and although we had a bit on, we agreed we could supply what you needed in time, but would naturally need to charge a premium because it was late as fuck and meant serious overtime. We didn't want to do it, but pulling her out of the shit would have made waves in our industry and bound to get words in the right ears, due to the festival size. So I called back the CB. CB, I have great news. We can get down there later this afternoon and we will work non-stop over the next 2 days to get this done for you. You are a lifesaver, thank you all so much. Now, we will require a 90% upfront payment and you can pay the remaining 10% after install is complete. I will send you an invoice now, but please know the invoice will be a larger amount than before, approximately 30% more due to the overtime and just being late. Pretty standard for an event this size. Guess how the mood turns now? But we had a contract. We have a set amount. You need to honor that. You made us rip it up and threaten a lawsuit if we made you stick to it. Those are the prices. No other company in this city would ever be able to deliver what you're asking at this late notice regardless. The price is the price, you can take it or leave it. This is crazy, we had a contract. She throws some nasty words my way of how we are useless and going to get sued. You have 2 hours to let me know if you want to move ahead, otherwise the stock will not be available. Goodbye. She never called back and went ahead with the other supplier. Festival was a disaster. She had also charged independent mobile food vendors and retailers to be at this festival and charged them premium for each spot. The vendors constantly lost power, water, and had zero support during the show. So they naturally took her to court for their money back as they lost money attending the festival. She had to pay back all the businesses that had purchased a spot at the festival through the court order and lost her business. She then tried to sue us and blame us for the whole catastrophe, but it didn't go far. Before you say it's sad she lost her livelihood, firstly, she should have canned the event there and then. It doesn't take an organizer to see this was in no way going to be successful. Secondly, we found out through industry people that she has done this before but got away with it, so fuck her. She tried to personally sue me as well, which didn't go very far either, but it still wasted a lot of my time. She honestly should have just paid the full amount they wanted. Like, customers comes first, don't they? It's pretty damn rude to charge premium prices to all those vendors if she did not, in her turn, pay for proper service for those vendors. That seems like a surefire way to get your business closed, which happened to her. So I guess that serves her right. So I had an iPhone 6 that I had lying around for a while. Fully working, just a very tiny crack at the top left corner. So I ended up trying to sell it on Facebook Marketplace as I didn't like Craigslist. I put the listing up for $65 as I thought that was a pretty fair price. I had it up there for around 12 hours before I got some good buyers. Most of them were asking 50 to 40 and I politely declined as I knew because it was around Christmas time I would get an offer for the asking price pretty quickly. I soon found a message for 65 and we decided to meet up up at a local park. I walked there as it was close to my house and sat on a bench for a good 5 minutes until I saw her. She was a female in her early 30s with long brown hair and was wearing what seemed to be a gym outfit with a thick coat on the outside. We talked and I let her take a look at the phone and showed her that it was fully working and the little crack as it said in the description. She seemed to like the phone and I gave her a minute to look around the phone and web browse it to see how fast it was and etc etc. I asked if she liked it and she said something along the lines of "it's fine." And I asked her if she had the $65 asking price for the phone, and she reached in her purse and right as she put her hand in it, she immediately started running away. At this point I was very startled and I did not expect it to happen at all. She fucking jolted like Sonic to her car, and before I could take out my phone and take a picture of the license plate, she was already driving off before I could. I never got a picture of it as my phone is stupid slow, and even if I did get a picture of the car, it would have been too far away, and at that point as she put the pedal to the metal. My hands were shaking and I never called the cops as I don't have enough balls to do it. So instead I ran home. I told my parents everything that happened and they started asking me questions like, what did she look like? What clothes was she wearing? Then my mom asked the golden question that my brain is too stupid to remember. What site did you sell it on? I had her whole profile on my phone. I started messaging her to no response. I went through her friends list and looked at every profile. I found her fucking husband. I messaged him immediately asking if this was his wife and he answered the good old yes. I started explaining everything that had happened and how she stole my phone, etc etc. She said he will talk to her. I got a response like an hour later saying how he had found the phone and now his wife was saying it was hers and that she forgot about it for a while. Turns out they were already thinking about a divorce before this had all happened and I just put the cherry on top. I threatened to call the cops but he demanded me not to as they were going through enough already. I regret doing this, but I did report her to the police after a talk with the husband over text. She got fucking slammed by them. She was arrested for theft and one other warrant for a drug charge. She ended up getting in jail for I think a couple of months. And her husband filed for a divorce. They had a 2-year-old baby which I forgot to put down and the husband got full custody of her. Wait, did she put down a 2-year-old? Huh. She wasn't allowed back into her house and I'm not really sure where she is now, but the ex-husband says she's not well at all financially. I really regret what I did to her as I think it was in the wrong to force the divorce on the husband, but in the end I got the phone back and ended up selling it finally for $60 without anyone trying to steal it this time. I hope you enjoyed reading this story I had from a while back and don't make any decisions you will regret. Just a quick tip, if you're going to steal something, don't do it with your whole name, age, picture and the name of your husband on your profile. Thanks. Yeah, but it's because of people like that woman that the police will never go out of business. They'll have business forever. We should be thankful for this woman. She actually creates jobs. That's gonna be it for this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and leave a like, maybe even subscribe if you enjoyed it that much. If you like the GIF in the background, I would suggest you check out @beesandbombs on Twitter. He's the one who made that one and he's a nice guy. He let me use his GIFs for these videos. You can also check me out at Albze. I don't really post much, but you can do it anyway. Could be fun with some followers. Anyway, I hope you have an awesome day and I will see you in the next one.